the window itself. So, that and there. That's what I wanted. There we are. It's a little off. So by a few pixels. I have to just set myself to do not disturb. I probably should have done that beforehand. I ended on my phone. All right. So I first met you on around, well, Discord's glitching. Lovely. Uh, you see what I'm saying? Wow.
What's going on?
Oh, the screen's just stuttering for both of us. Yeah, this is what's going on here. It's better now.
Have you tried yelling at it?
But I guess it'll be okay. I guess it's just this VSync issue. I don't know. Um anyway, so I first met you while you were playing what's game was it? Metroid NES. And I viewed your stream about 2 or 3 years ago
Jesus, yeah,
during
dude, that was a long time ago.
yeah. And so at the time of that, there were issues with the Metroid NES ideology because, oh, gee, there's no, well, there's no map system in the original NES. So you played a modified version of the NES version, so to speak.
Yeah, dude, the person who redeemed it for me actually insisted that I play one that had like this little 3x3 map like
Yeah.
installed in it. That way I
So
wouldn't
like it
lose my
was in,
fucking
so
mind.
that was in like what's it called? Like it was in what's it called? Super Metroid. I'm sorry, I'm blinking out today. My
Oh yeah,
brain's um. And anyway, I viewed your stream, and you were actually the only person that was streaming Metroid NES at that time. You
really?
literally were. Yeah, so I also heard word from, I think you promoted in VideoFam, someone else's stream.
Oh, Digifam,
Discord.
yeah, I've known him
Yeah,
for a long time.
VideoFam's Discord, and he's a very good guy. I've known him for about 8 years now. 8 years now, yeah. Um, he's um he's a good guy. I've no concerns over him whatsoever.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about him either. He's
No,
awesome.
no, I don't say bad things about people. So I viewed your stream and tried to help you out the best I could. That was my first stream to your channel.
And you didn't run like hell?
Why would I have? I was trying to help you out, try to beat the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Again, at the time, Metroid NES wasn't exactly known about and feared entirely by the entire Metroid franchise as being very difficult and one of the hardest games in even in the NES franchises
Yeah,
at that
I think
time.
I really lucked out having the person redeem the one that had like the little map thingy on it because I just kind of breezed through it and I had a great time. Every time somebody mentions the original Metroid, they're always, complaining about how difficult it is. There's no map, everything looks the same and all that shit, but I totally got to bypass it because of that one specific little 3x3 map. You wouldn't even think that would make much of a difference,
It
but
makes a
man,
huge difference.
huge
Welcome
difference.
Mir, welcome in Mir God Godila 99 on Kick. So I'm interviewing this person, my friend I've known him for about 2 or 3 years now, and I've helped him through a few games. He's talked to me a little bit. He's been a very good individual to me, and I have nothing but good things to say about him. Um, yeah, I mean, and recently you started back into streaming again over a month off or something. Anyway, I noticed you were playing Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Advanced.
Sure was, yeah.
Yeah, and that seemed a little bit difficult. You were contacting about the sound and everything being a little bit off compared to the Super Nintendo version of it.
Dude, I have this very vivid memory of my mom bringing that game home on the Super Nintendo back in '94. She was so excited. And man, we played the shit out of that for years. Like I've been playing that game for like 30 years now, right? And for whatever reason, I just never scoped out any of like the Game Boy Color version, the Game Boy Advance version. So when I jumped back onto Twitch, I was like, man, I want to play
That's a good
something
game.
that is going to make me happy.
It's a good
Donkey
game.
Kong Country, love the franchise, but I'm going to try a different port, see if they added anything, you know?
What was the differences that you saw between the two?
Well, I mean, the graphics and the sound obviously took a hit. I mean, the
Yeah,
Game Boy
kind of
Advance
figured
kind of outputs in mono, right? So you don't have like the
that. Yeah, it's
crunchy
true.
sound effects of like
It didn't
Super
get
Nintendo
that
version.
nostalgia version, basically.
Yeah. The physics definitely felt a little bit weird. Like the barrels shoot you a lot quicker and stuff like that. You know, you can pick up on it after like a little while, but yeah, like 30 years of muscle memory, I could tell like shit was a little bit off.
So my introduction to that game was also in the 90s. I was about 3 or 4, maybe 5 years old when that came out. And I enjoyed it up to where the ice portion was.
World 4,
And
yeah.
yeah, World 4.
That's where it ramps up.
And then it started to get worse. And then the mines afterwards, Oil Drum Alley was very easy for me because it trained my brain to think differently. And I thought it was good. I thought it was oil, the factory portion of that. But then the mine portion of it was very hard, I felt. It was, that was the hardest portion of that game.
I kind of wish I could go back into that game with like a blank slate, having never played it before, you know?
Maybe someone who's like 16, 17, or 18 who has never played the game might be able to get into that game and start playing it again and say, this is completely ludicrous.
It could be, yeah. It's totally different from what the kids are playing nowadays, yeah. Seems like for
Well,
the most part.
some of these kids are perfecting the NES. These NES, actually, somebody went from 0 to 255 and went back to 0 again recently on the NES Tetris.
Oh yeah. I heard
Yeah.
about that. He actually
Yeah, these
beat
people are
Tetris.
perfecting some of these games that we thought would never be able to be beatable.
Yeah.
And they're doing it incredible. Like some people are buying Nintendo controllers at a rampant pace, even like week span. So anyway, um, but yeah, it would be interesting to see if someone would be willing to play that blind someday, just completely blind and try to get through it.
Yeah, I've watched several friends actually go through like Super Castlevania 4 or Zelda Link to the Past, you know, classics that like pretty much everybody grew up with. And they're going through it like in the modern day for like the very first time. So it's really cool to see their perspective on it, you know?
It's funny you
Because it's
say
shit
that.
that's been like pounded into your head for decades, and then you're watching somebody else experience it for the very first time, and it's like you can almost like feel the excitement that they
Yeah,
have, like,
really,
oh,
it's
what's gonna happen next? What the hell am I supposed to do in this room? Blah blah
and
blah,
they do
right?
it blind without doing any walkthroughs or anything like that. They
Oh
just
yeah, you have to. You
you
have to,
have
yeah.
to. But meanwhile, I moved on to Super Metroid randomizers, and I thinking about getting like doing hard versions of A Link to the Past, but that's a little bit outside my realm of knowledge for A Link to the Past. Um,
Yeah.
it's a little
Great game though.
it's a stellar game. Have you tried blue sorting it? Like
No.
Master Sword.
I
Oh
was never into
man.
like the whole like challenging thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
not
So go ahead.
with the way that I approach video games is like, okay, I'm gonna beat like as many as I possibly can and just experience a wide array of shit across numerous consoles, right?
Mhm.
Instead of just like pinpointing like
Yeah,
2 or 3 or 5 games and just learning it inside and out and doing it over and over. How fast can I do it? Can I do it with only bombs or like whatever, you know, challenges like that, you
or
know?
morph ball on the ceiling.
Yeah.
That is actually a thing now. So anyway, but
I believe it. People are nuts.
yeah, it's crazy out there. But
There's just so many different
I
consoles
mean,
with like
honestly,
vast
I have
libraries.
and you seem to be like a variety retro streamer inside of its own. And I'll be honest with you, over the past couple years, you've been playing. Well, I took a few months off myself to a year, but yeah, you're a variety retro streamer, and you try to beat as many games as you can. And honestly, I've never really seen anyone that has ever really completed so many games.
Well, I mean, it's redeem based, right? I don't
Hmm.
ever really pick my own shit. It's
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm
in
kind of
that.
at the mercy of what my community makes me do,
Mhm.
which is kind of cool because I mean, if a game sucks, not my fault.
So you haven't considered Barbie on the NES?
No, man, nobody's picked Barbie yet. I don't know why.
It's actually a very hard game. It really
Is
is.
it?
It's a
I believe
hard
it.
game. It is such a hard game.
I can't imagine they put in like too much effort for it, unfortunately.
Man. I saw one dude that was like super masculine and like ex-military try to do that game, and he was all like, "I do not ever redeem Barbie NES," and
You know?
it's like,
Some games have like redeeming factors to them though, like you just don't expect.
yeah,
Like I can't
and
tell you the amount of games people have picked for me that were supposed to be absolute shit, and I adored them. Or games that are like very highly praised, like in the community, and walked away being like, I don't get it. You know, that's why it's so great that everything's so objective.
so one of your friends, Graptacular,
Oh yeah, Grap,
said
he's wonderful.
Barbie NES noted.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked with like how my community is that nobody's picked Barbie yet. There's several games that I'm like, how the hell have people not picked that yet? You know, just to like torture me. That's
Well,
like a big thing, right? Picking the shittiest thing they can possibly come up with.
well, honestly, I started getting into Sega games because I was mostly into Nintendo and a little bit of a Game Boy, Nintendo Game Boy, and all those eras. And I started looking into one of the less known Sega game, like Sega Saturn, for example, one of those games. And I looked up like a little bit like of a let's play a part one of Panzer Dragoon Legacy
Oh, there's
Saga
Panzer Dragoon.
Saga.
Yeah, and then there's Panzer Dragoon 2 and Panzer Dragoon Saga. That's the
Yeah,
RPG one.
yeah. And I looked at that and I was just like, this is so underrated.
Sega has always been incredibly underrated, dude.
Yeah, and I guess like some of these games, like I got like Skies of Arcadia from like
Oh,
10 years ago. It was on the GameCube. It was a remaster. I actually have a disc
oh
copy of
yeah.
it somewhere. But I was playing that and I'm like, this is completely ahead of its time. And then it was supposed to rival Final Fantasy 9, I think it was, the one with the airships in it.
Well, they
And
all got airships.
they do. They do have airships.
Kind of like a beat 'em up without an elevator. You're like, what the hell? Doesn't feel right.
It really doesn't. But I guess my question now is what was the hardest game that someone has picked for you?
Hardest game.
Difficulty.
There have been several where I'll get 95 to 99% of the way through the thing, and I'll just get taken out. And it's one of those things where you have to start at the very beginning. So it'll take you like an hour of just repetitious shit to get back to it. And I'm like, okay, I can spend the next several hours or even days to see the last like 2% of this game. Or I could just say fuck it and move on because I have a vast backlog of redeems that people have made. But like I've I've 1cc Battletoads. I did that before I started streaming. And when I started streaming, people would ask me like what's the toughest challenge you've ever done? And for some reason Battletoads is always brought up as like this very very hard to beat game. So I was like I've 1cc Battletoads. Nobody would believe me. So I had to learn the game inside and out again and then I did it on stream.
And that particular game is on a lot of consoles. It was originally on a arcade machine, if memory serves, right?
Yeah, the arcade one is it's a beat 'em up.
Yeah. And it was ported to all of them, including NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis,
Yeah, it's different on
PS1.
the Super Nintendo, but the Genesis did get a
Yeah.
version. It's just slowed down.
Yeah, it did.
It got a port on the Commodore Amiga CD32. That was kind of cool.
Same with what's it called? Ghouls and Ghosts? Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Super Ghouls and Go. Man, that whole franchise, I love it. Absolutely
You
love it.
know
Everything
there
about
was a
it.
sequel to that.
Which?
So it wasn't really a sequel per se, but there was a it's called Demon Crest.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, so it features Firebrand from the Ghouls and Ghosts franchise. He was a
Yeah.
kind of a side character mostly, and it was like makes no sense why he was added, but it makes an interesting story, and I feel like it was a fairly good made game to be honest. Elagos,
It was
88.
very, very fun. Yeah, I mean, same with the Gargoyles Quest games on the Game Boy and
Thank
NES.
you for the
Really good
follow
shit.
too.
Oh, Eligos, yeah, love Eligos. Wonderful guy. Loved Sega.
So yeah, it was one of those games where oh G&G spinoff as well. I forgot about that. Ghouls and Ghosts spinoff as well. I forgot about that. Master System does rule. I've Master System. What would you say would be one of your favorite franchises in the Sega series per se?
Favorite franchises.
Yes, out of all of
God,
them.
dude.
I know Gex was ported over there at one point.
Gex was on the Saturn,
Started,
yeah, but that's more
yeah,
of like a
Saturn.
3DO franchise in my mind. Man, okay, if we're talking like early Sega, I'd say Golvelius. Very good Legend of Zelda style game. If you're talking modern shit, I mean Yakuza is fantastic. Hatsune Miku.
Yakuza. Yakuza has been getting a lot of updates recently. A lot of new episodes and stuff to it, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, they're cranking them out.
Hmm. And it seems to be a popular series to me. It one of my friend was recommending it to me, and I was just like, I don't know.
You've never tried any of the Yakuza games?
Mm.
Okay, the way that it was explained to me many, many years ago, because I had zero interest in it, somebody's just like, "Did you like Grand Theft Auto as a teenager?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, of course, like, of course." They're like, "Okay, well, it's a super funny Japanese style Grand Theft Auto." I was like, "Okay, well, that does sound really, really cool." And while that doesn't really like hit it on the mark, I can see where he was coming from, and that got me the motivation to play it. And man, it is hilarious. That franchise is so wacky and goofy and funny. It's so much fun to go through.
Yakuza seems like a good franchise. I consider getting into one of the newer ones. Elagos says something called, it says, Alex Kidd needs a revival.
The Alex Kidd games, my god. This is the pre Sonic the Hedgehog mascot for Sega. Most of the games are not very good. Some of them are mediocre. One is very, very good, but most of it's just eh.
Sonic Spinball.
Sonic Spinball, man. I didn't mind the 8-bit versions, but the Sega Genesis one didn't feel right to me for some reason. It's the only one I couldn't beat. I could go through the Game Gear one, I could go through the Master System one.
They had a port of it on the GBA, and I thought it was pretty bad, honestly.
Oh, okay. That got on the Game Boy Advance, eh?
It did get ported to the GBA, but it wasn't, I mean, I guess it wasn't really about the soundtrack it was more about the gameplay. And so.
Figuring it out.
But the soundtrack in it was pretty good if you look back at it.
Not bad. I mean, it was a very pretty game, too, for its time.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Weird, man. I call myself Sega fan, but I'm not like a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
Oh. Graptacula says GBA Sonic Spinball. Yes. Sonic Pinball Party was a lot, at least decent.
On the pinball party?
There was apparently. I don't
Never
remember
heard of
it.
it.
I don't remember it. Maybe it's something another thing to redeem.
Probably, yeah.
But anyway, it was also on the GBA Scraptacular.
Hmm. So do you have like a list of questions, or you just like talking
I'm
off the top of your head?
I'm actually I'm actually
Oh, okay.
winging it this time. But yeah, let's see here. There's a but what is your favorite non-Sega franchise as an alternative to the Sega franchise?
Dude, there's tons of Nintendo franchises that I absolutely love. Yeah, I mean, of course, the TurboGrafx 16, Hudson Soft, and Sunsoft, Konami, Capcom. There's just so many great companies. I don't even
Jaguar.
know where to begin
Yeah,
with,
there's
man.
so many of them out
Um,
there. Jaguar wasn't too popular.
I'd say Legend of Zelda, but the last two games have been, or the last three games have been, eh.
Well, I can say this, but it was a woke game. Coming from someone that's a little bit from yeah, it's completely woke. It had no, in my opinion, I didn't like it. I
The
didn't
Zelda?
even well, echoes of the whatever it is, the newest
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah, the newest one, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Link gets sucked into a vortex and Zelda needs to try to save him in the same universe as Breath of the Wild or something like that. And it was just like, okay, this makes absolutely no fucking sense other than
It looked okay as a game, but as like Zelda, it's not really what I want. Same with the huge open world aspects of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Like, it's okay for a little while, but I mean, it's not Legend of Zelda to me, you know?
So there was one game that I did play that was Zelda, where Zelda was the main character. It was a CDI game.
Oh yeah, Zelda's Adventure, yeah.
Yes, Zelda's Adventure, which was everyone's like CDI sucks. Okay, yeah, it sucks. But I played it at one point. I didn't stream it, but I played it. But I thought it was interesting, at least some of the mechanics in the game that were
Yeah.
later adopted into ice physics and stuff like that. That were in like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that. Majora's Mask too.
Yeah, the CDI Zelda trilogy is definitely worth scoping out. Same with like Hotel Mario, but are they good? No.
Mario Luigi's Time Machine, or where was it Mario's Time Machine too? There was also
On the Super
Mario's
Nintendo?
Yeah, there was Mario's Time Machine.
Mm. Yeah, I never played it.
There's that. It was like more of a like a learning type of trivia type of game about what happened in the past. It wasn't it's
Oh
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
those
Just trying
type
out new
things.
shit back in the day to
Yeah,
see
it
what
was more
sticks.
like a Mario Paint type of thing anyway. But Mario Paint was
Mario
oh
Paint.
god,
I had a lot of fun with that as a kid.
man, you could go on and on and on and on for composers. What else is there to talk about? I have one question another question to ask that was they did it. Oh, Elagos says they did a Mario Paint on the N64 disk drive.
Oh yeah, the disc drive system in
They
Japan.
did do
Yeah,
that.
they had several weird Mario Paint adjacent franchises on there, but it's all in Japanese and shit, right?
Possibly. Yeah, it had to have been PAL edition because I don't know if the disk drive was released in the United States or Canada.
No, it never left Japan.
Yeah, it never left Japan. Let's see here. What else is there? Um. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Um. I don't usually. I also tend to talk about somebody's past life, about like if they went to college, if they went to high school, what did you graduate with? Well, not like GPA wise, but like if you graduated from college.
No, no, no. I actually got expelled in high school.
It's spelled in high school. Wow. I I didn't know that actually. I don't judge you. You're a better person now. Let's go
Yeah,
with that.
fuck it. I was never really one for just like following.
The trend? Yeah, I can see that in
Shit that
you.
doesn't make any sense, you
It
know?
doesn't.
Like,
It doesn't.
can I please go to the bathroom? No. And then you just get up and go.
Can you
Like, fuck
imagine
that.
like an 18-year-old just like asking to go to a bathroom in a school? It's like, can I go
So
to
many
the?
stupid rules and regulations like that that make no
It's like,
fucking sense, and I just refuse to adhere to them, and it just culminated in me getting, expelled eventually as a troublemaker.
so there are a few people that I know that are very kind people that actually are felons now, and they're trying to expunge their felons. So I don't judge you one bit in any way, sense, or form for anything. So one dude that I knew in high school, well, he was a little bit older than me, 2 or 3 years. He did graduate high school, and he said, fuck college, didn't know what else to do with his life. He had a hard time getting a job even after high school. So he just stagnated and drank beer all the time. Wasn't exactly. Anyway, he turned his life around, and I'm glad for it. He's a partner on Twitch now.
Oh, we made partner?
Yeah, he made partner on Twitch.
Nice.
I'm glad for him because, like, I mean, he's like this one dude that I've known for 30 years that partner on Twitch. It's like nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see, that's for sure.
It's like, I knew you when you were 5 years old and you wanted to go to the bathroom
Yeah.
at church or something like that. Anyway, so I'm glad you're doing better. Let's put it that way. Um, thing, everything sorted. What else is there?
Could have made a list, dude.
I should have, honestly. Like the last one was an hour long, and he was, I was grilling him about Final Fantasy 14. And I don't want
Fuck,
to.
dude, I got addicted to that game.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. Like, I'm
So,
talking 10 to 15-hour days for an entire year, dude.
for an entire. So
Yeah.
my thing was Rust. And I don't seem like a Rust person because I don't. But I actually was very intoxicated into Rust at one point. Rust the
Addicted?
game?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know of it. I've never played it.
So like people would be like walking up to me and asking me like, "Why aren't you scared?" I'm like, "Why should I be scared?" And I'm just they're just like, I don't get your mindset. Can we just be friends?" And I'm just like, "Sure." But anyway, I was heavily intoxicated into Rust, and eventually it hit my brain and toxicity a bit. But lost my job at Wendy's over it. It's
Oh,
not a
yeah?
meme. It's not a meme. It was not a meme.
I believe it. Dude, I quit my job to play Xenoblade Chronicles when it dropped on
Oh,
the Wii.
Xenoblade Chronicles. That was
Fuck,
such
dude,
a
I got
good
so hooked.
game. It's such a good game, though. It's single player, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then again,
It
it
was like right
was.
around the time I like started collecting video games, and I got like really heavily into it because I was an adult at that point, started having some income and shit, and I started like rebuying my childhood, like, oh man, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, I'm gonna buy all this shit. You know? It's like, man,
Yeah.
there's gotta be some modern RPGs coming out nowadays that are awesome, right? And like
Other than
Xenoblade is like
Pokemon.
coming out.
Yeah. Well, there was Dungeon Defenders that came out around that time.
Which?
Dungeon Defenders. It was a game that was. It was 2012, right? No, I'm thinking 2017. Xenoblade Chronicles came out in. I forgot
Like
which.
2011 or 2012,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's about what time I got heavily invested into Dungeon Defenders. It was also on the 360, I think, at that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Well, it's an interesting one too. Let's see. Zelda. What was your favorite Zelda? Other than A Link to the Past.
Favorite Zelda
Other than A Link to the Past.
besides A Link to the Past. I really, really like Zelda 2, and I love Wind Waker.
So Zelda 2 was one of those games that was really hard for me, but I really enjoyed it. Wind Waker was. Did you enjoy finding the Triforce shards?
I I didn't mind sailing around and
Okay.
shit, dude. Like I loved that. I was about that pirate stuff, you know,
That was the
exploring the fucking ocean and stuff. I loved
that
that,
was
going
the
island to island.
major that was the major gripe about Wind Waker at the time is the Triforce
Yeah,
shards.
yeah, I remember that. That and the fucking art style. They're like, look how cutesy it is. This sucks. I thought it was charming.
Remind me of like Digimon and stuff too. Then again, it's cartoony Moblin and cartoony Ganon aren't exactly
Yeah, maybe.
thought. Twilight Princess wasn't a bad game either, but that was just kind of like a enhanced version.
I feel like that's when the game got like, or that's when the franchise got kind of like, very, very linear. Like you have to go down
Too.
these narrow paths, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. It
I think it
stopped
wasn't
with.
bad.
So I gotta tell you, did you ever try the Oracle games?
Actually, man, I have to do Oracle of either Seasons or Ages within the next month. Somebody had redeemed it.
Okay, that's when it stopped becoming linear, in my opinion. I mean, that's when it stopped, like after Ages and Seasons, that's when it stopped becoming linear.
Mm.
If you get to, I don't want to spoil it to you for you, but you'll understand why. Yeah, Seasons is a little bit too straightforward for me, but I won't go spoil it anymore. I'll subvert the topic.
Oh, I'm not too worried about it, man.
I mean, let's just say that if like Ages was like I had to speed run Ages at one point back in 2011 for a marathon on Ustream. It was 13 years ago. And Ages was one of those deal breakers. It took me 6 hours to speed run, and I got every single thing in the game to speed run it.
Damn, dude. So you know that game inside and out, eh?
I don't know it anymore. I lost, and it's very rare for me to lose memory of a game if I play it once. Like,
Well, 13 years is a long time, right?
well, I mean, I learned to speedrun Metroid NES in 2006, and I got back into that in 2019, 13 years.
Hmm. What's the quickest you can do Metroid in?
The quickest in Metroid NES, it was around 50 minutes, 100% all items.
100%.
Yes, all items.
Jesus
At the
Christ, that's
time, it was
intense.
borderline Dragon Darks. Obviously now there are better ones, better versions out there. Better people that have more skilled runs, especially through Mother Brain, because Mother Brain's just random everywhere.
Yeah, you learn shit, right? You got hundreds of people all around the world learning little fucking tricks here and there, right? It all culminates into something.
So the person that has it now is Scott. Some Scott. I don't remember his name exactly. And he actually really did it really well. I gotta admit, 36 minutes, 30 under around 40 minutes for 100% of Metroid NES non-glitch. That was
That's
pretty.
insane, dude.
It's insane. It was insane. It was pretty good. But I gotta say, it was one of the better ones that it beat Dragon Dark. That was an insane run, and he still says that there could be gains inside of it.
Yeah. Well, it'd be hard to shave off time from something like that.
Oh,
How
he
much more
said
could you
that
possibly shave off? Like 40
technically
seconds?
it would have been a 39-minute. it's possible to do in 39 according to his counter.
Oh, okay.
And that's a 2-year run. It still hasn't been beaten, to my knowledge. Bradford Bunches was before that, and he did it pretty well as well. He did it very well. I actually interacted with him a bit, help him out with that.
That's cool. So you're like part of the speedrunning community for
I
Metroid?
don't anymore because I am gotten too old. I'm getting too, let's just say my mentality's not the best anymore. I used to be more forgiving of other people, and I'm trying to shift it back to that, but it's harder for me to do so. Anyway, I have mental issues as well. You probably know that. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like a lot of people do nowadays, for sure.
Everyone does have a lot of mental health issues going around. Wish there was something better. People could be nicer to people for once in a while.
Yes, people really, really need to learn to be kinder to one another. I agree.
So there's a lot of people on everywhere on Kick, and it's not like everywhere. Every person I met on Kick has been really like mentality, like let's help each other out. Literally, some people will go out of their way to end their stream to get in a call with someone to calm them down. And it's insane how Kick is these days. Like everyone just sees the bad in it, but there's also that good in it as well.
Yeah, no, there's definitely bad people out there, but there's also really wonderful people out there, right?
And
It just
that's
depends on what you want to fixate on.
Kick. Honestly, there's a lot of good people everywhere everywhere. It's just you have to avoid the people that are toxic assholes, so to speak.
You
And
gotta try to avoid them, yeah, but you never really know.
you never know fully.
No.
And I am actually grateful that you had a mental health portion of your Discord. That really helped out me for a little while.
Have you looked into meditation or anything like that?
I thought about it. It's a good idea.
Meditation's wonderful, man.
What's
It
your
helped change me quite a bit when I was a teenager.
and this is going to be an off the wall topic, but what's your favorite flavor of
Briskies.
vape?
Vape?
Yeah. You vape so much.
Oh man, you know, I'm not really much for sweets or anything like that. Like I don't eat cookies or cake or any of that shit, right? But when it comes to vaping, I just love the sweet, savory kind of things,
Yeah,
like
what's your
creme
favorite
brulee or
flavor?
cheesecake and
Oh,
shit like that.
oh.
Like blueberry cheesecake is wonderful, or like powdered cinnamon donuts. Like there's so many like tasty flavors. I'm not much for the berries. I tried.
And obviously you're not trying Kamala Harris's soy boy flavored
Oh
vape
yeah,
juice, obviously. I'm being sarcastic. That's a joke.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about offending me, dude.
But anyway, so back to the topic at hand here. So what is your favorite non-Sega system?
I've got a special place in my heart for the TurboGrafx 16. I really do. But I adore the NES and Super Nintendo, of course, but I don't know, man. There's something about the TurboGrafx 16 and the PC Engine, like.
That
Plus, it's like
is
still largely like unexplored for the most part. Most people don't know too much about it, but like the games, man, the games are so goddamn good.
there was, if I'm not mistaken, a Castlevania game that was made on the TurboGrafx 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The PC Engine CD in Japan, they got a Rondo of Blood.
And that was a really good game, I'd say.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's great. I mean, most Castlevania games are pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's just that in particular wasn't really released in the United States until the SNES, right?
Ugh. I guess you could call Dracula X a port of it, but I mean,
It's a
they're
shift
pretty
of a
different.
port of it. There were portions missing of it. Like for an
Yeah,
example, Maria. It's, it was a
yeah. It's
rundown
kind of like when
version
they
of
brought
it.
over that one from the Sharp X 68,000. They did a Castlevania Chronicles compilation on the PS1, and they brought that over. But they changed quite a bit of it too. So I don't know. That's why it's fun to go back and explore the old libraries. Get to see all the games that people love the way they were like supposed to be.
There
Experienced, right?
was one person that I knew that used to speedrun that particular version of it. He's a
Oh
very
yeah.
kind person. He was a very kind person to me. And he knew so much. I don't remember all the details to that, but he's a very kind individual. On Twitch, I don't remember his name. I don't remember. I forgot it. Usually don't forget people.
I know, dude. I got hundreds of usernames
Oh,
like in
jeez.
my head too.
Look, when did you first start streaming? That's one thing I gotta ask.
I started like mid September of 2021
Okay,
because
so
people have been telling me for like over a decade that I should start streaming because
you
uh,
should you should have started around that time period. That was a good time to start too. It boomed.
yeah, it would have been a lot better if I'd started much
Yeah,
earlier. But the thing is, like, I
2020
live in
got
the middle
had
of
a lot of
nowhere.
toxic people on it, but they've shifted over into. But they anyway, people migrated back over. I won't talk about what happened in Twitch 2016. I won't talk about 2017 Twitch Retro. I won't talk about that. But I'm glad you started when you started because it was the exact right time when you started.
Oh,
It was the exact right time when you started. Look, I have streamed on Ustream, which was way back in 2008. My first time streaming was Final Fantasy One, and then I realized I had a gift for whatever it is, and thought about it. But anyway, I've been around. I when I say that I know a lot of people in this industry, I know what I'm saying. And honestly, you started right when you started. It was a good time period to start. Someone on.
what?
Sorry, someone said something on Twitch. Kick. He said, "Cold DI. My nipples are erect."
Oh, that's hot. I like that.
I thought you were gonna get a giggle out of that. Gameplay boy, welcome in. GPB222 is a streamer here on Kick. He's a very well-known person that only talks about video games, only plays video games. No drama whatsoever as well. So let's see here. You started at 2021 of September. What was the first thing you streamed though? I don't remember. I never actually asked you that.
Oh, Jesus. I think I was doing Sackboy with my girlfriend on the PS5.
Sackboy, that was the one with the little. Some of them were little music notes and stuff like that. If memory serves.
Yeah, I don't remember, man. It's been so long. And then I did the new Ratchet and Clank on the PS5. Like pretty much when I started up, I was like, fuck it. If I'm streaming, I'm gonna
Too
be
modern.
obligated to like plow through all that
So you,
that giant wall of games behind me, right? So
when did you develop? When did you see that you had a talent for? Because I only hit it right when you hit Metroid NES in 2022, mid portion of 2022. It was definitely Sackboy. Then you did a reverse run of Super Monkey Ball, so Cool TD. I
oh yeah, yeah. He'd come and visit and we'd play the shit out of like the new Monkey Ball games and stuff like that.
okay. I didn't know you knew
He's
this guy. My
maddening.
apologies.
Have you played through the Monkey Ball series?
I played through the GBA and the which one was it? One of the GameCube games as well. The game Super Monkey Ball was a really hard one for me.
Oh yeah, dude, brutal games. Super fun, very addictive, but man, they make you want to rip out your pubes for sure.
It's an interesting game then. Like, so what was some? He or she says Super Monkey Ball is so good. I
Oh yeah,
really should play it someday. It's a thought that occurred in my mind.
pretty unique. I mean, it's kind of like Marble Madness on crack.
Marble Madness.
Did you ever play Marble Madness back in the day?
Yeah, I'm wondering how they calculated the physics of that game because I saw one person play that and I played it myself a little bit afterwards and I was like, how do they do the physics of that game? It's an NES title, but it was originally on some other system, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
And I'm just thinking that like wasn't on the NES? Marble Madness.
Oh yeah, sure was.
Yeah. Google this. I don't. My memory is a little faulty on this. It's 1984. It's when it's actually a MAME. Yeah, Nintendo NES. That's what it was. So I was wondering how they even. I am a. Well, I'm glad you don't think that you're a she or a they, but I understand you're a he. I did vote for Donald Trump, but I won't go into more details than that.
Yeah, I'm not even in America.
Yeah, you're not. You have to choose between Justin Trudeau, but it's whatever. I... So one last thing that I wanted to ask, and I really should have written everything down.
Yeah, dude.
Everything. This is stupid of me. I'm sorry.
I should start interviewing you.
I thought about no, it's not. Don't do it. Like what?
Boxers or briefs?
Walter. Oh man. Um, there's a few questions I have. So for each system, each retro system, what was your favorite? Let's start with that, and that's a varied topic. That's the
My
long.
favorite console of all time?
No, game per console.
Favorite game per console? Jesus Christ, dude, that's impossible. It really depends what I'm in the mood for.
So you'd say
Yeah.
you're someone that plays the game based upon the mood of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, do I want to play a shoot 'em up? Do I want to do an RPG? Do I want to do a platformer, right? Like,
Did you ever play Doom on stream?
nobody's ever picked Doom. No, I did Doom 2016 back when I first started, actually, because everybody was ranting and raving about how amazing it was. So I bought it and streamed it for Halloween, actually, of 2021. It was all right.
Yeah, I
But
didn't.
nobody's picked the original Doom on whatever console, So that's fucking on everything.
It is on every. It's not even on SNES.
Yeah, I remember I had that red cart
It's
back in the day.
cartridge. I'm wondering how they did the physics of that, and people still have like tried to digest the like assembly language of the SNES to figure out how they did it, and it was still complex beyond belief. How they ran down everything. It was so complex. How they ported over a that game over to the SNES, and it wasn't easy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I believe it.
So I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm actually somewhat of a programmer myself, and I'm one of those loose-ended programmers that just whatever type thing. Also, I don't get high strung very often, but when I do, you'll know about it. But anyway, let's just say that like I do know assembly a little bit and C. And I don't know how they ported over a C game over to an assembly platform. To me, that just doesn't make sense. But they were able to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks and sounds great on the Super Nintendo, honestly.
They did a good job on it. How about? Did you hear about Doom on Everything?
I don't think so.
So one person did made it so that way they could program cells, like living cells, to play Doom. Like you would, it would take like years. And as my friend Warp says, importing assembly to C is easy, but C to assembly is a different story, and he's right about that. But what this researcher did was shift like program the cells themselves to play Doom on cell. Like literally the cells were being you could play the game on cells, but it would take like years, like decades, millennial.
What
Like,
cells?
like human live cells.
Oh, the fuck?
Yeah. This was researched about 9 months ago, 10 months ago. And she was a researcher that was able to do that. And I'm just like, why?
You know why? For sure.
I mean, it would take you 7 generations to beat it anyway, but because they can.
Yeah.
And my
Well, a lot of
mental,
people do a lot of shit.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I was wondering about your reaction to that, which you just gave me.
Oh fuck, I don't know, man. It's people doing crazy shit, you know? I mean, whatever the information they glean out of that can probably be applied to something that's actually important at some point.
Yeah, so I think they use like some sort of stomach bacteria in the cell that regressed itself. Regression is something is Jeff Lone, isn't that cancer? Unironically, white blood cells all out of bubble gum is true.
Yeah, it's probably.
I should have prepared better for this, and I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. It's been almost an hour anyway, right?
Yeah, really.
That went fucking quick.
Did it? Are you've never done? You better be sorry. Oh, is what Colt Di said. I really should be.
Yeah,
I
I
know
made sure to
he's
make an
being
announcement.
I know he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, I made an announcement in my Discord saying that I was going to be doing this or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
So
really?
you
Okay.
jump in if you want. That's why there's like a couple of my people here. Yeah.
I noticed. It's all right. I know some of them. I didn't know about Colt Di. Um.
Yeah, he's my little sister.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. What else is there? I'm trying to think here. Doesn't help that I was programming all night, then also was playing RuneScape for 15 hours and then got into an interview, but that's not your fault, it's mine. I should have preambled.
Yeah, I know. I kept like jumping in to your RuneScape shit. You were like playing with somebody else, and I was like, I don't really want to fucking bring this up right now. I'll wait for him to message me.
So the dude was like contacting me at like 7 a.m. yesterday. Like, do you want to do Iron Man, group Iron Man? And I just got so heavily involved with it. It got addictive. But, I kind of feel it was a good effort. I got. Did you ever play So, okay, how long have you did you ever play RuneScape? Well,
No,
no, you didn't. Okay.
I never got into a PC shit, actually.
So that's probably why you didn't play Doom or Lemmings. I probably think you should get into Lemmings, though. That would be a good game for you.
Somebody made me go through Lemmings on the
Oh
Sega
yeah, that's
Genesis
right.
actually a few months back.
That was a redeem of it.
I mean, I played some PC games that were ported to consoles and shit, right? Like I just played Diablo for my first time fucking ever, like a year and a
I
half ago.
didn't get into Diablo. I never really played Diablo. I never did.
It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I could see why the franchise blew up.
Diablo 4 was a pretty good game, though, from what
Yeah.
I've heard, but I never really played any of them. No, not 1 through 4. I tried Path of Exile, or would you consider doing modern games eventually?
Well, I mean, when it comes to modern shit, I usually just do like the indie titles and my favorite RPG companies, you know, like Atlas, Nippon Ichi Software, Nihon Falcom, all those companies. Like because I was just banned for a fucking month, I started going through Tokyo Xanadu X on the
I didn't know
PS4. That
you.
was
I
fantastic.
was trying to keep that out of the. But it's all
Oh
right. It's all right. You
yeah, and then
said
I
it
did a
yourself, so it happened to you. I guess my question is, how are you feeling after that? I didn't want to mention that on stream, but since you brought it up, how are you feeling? Has it been difficult for you
dude. You can
to
ask me literally
integrate?
anything. You don't have to worry so much about
Okay.
it. Um, I don't know. Well, I mean, the whole situation sucked because I got in shit for something that I didn't even
I know, I
do.
know.
So
I grilled the person. I know who it was. I, 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 I was appalled by what he did to you. And honestly, I grilled him myself. I've been trying to stick up for you after all that baloney, and even inside of like Twitch has been wonky over the past month. Hey, big stinker, welcome in. Um, Twitch has been wonky over the past month.
has it?
Uh, well, they banned a lot of the people that were on the rating system for TwitchCon, I think it was. They banned every single one of them.
What?
So what happened was, I don't really know, but there was a lot of drama that has been going on Twitch lately. And it's like interesting. So that too cold DI, but like some people actually were like saying stuff that was really rude, even appalling to me. And it was stuff like Frogan, for example. I don't know if you've heard of her.
No.
Okay, so she was going around saying stuff I don't generally like talking about, but she was heavily invested a lot into the Twitch communities. She had a lot of control over the Twitch market rating system. You know, there's a rating system behind Twitch. And she also went out on a blue and said something about like, I hope that veterans get PTSD. And that's when I heard that, and I just said, I blew up. Even I blew up over that.
Yeah, that's a really shitty thing to say.
And that's not the whole reason why she was banned. So I'm saying there's something that's going on in the background of Twitch that's not normal.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really pay attention to too much shit outside my
Yeah, you do
community, right?
tend to stay in your lane a lot. Have you considered, well, not migrating, but like dual streaming? Because you can do
No.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I know that you're
you
allowed to now. Like
yeah.
when I first started up, I wasn't allowed to, but now all of a sudden you are. But I mean, because I'm the kind of person who has a lot
Yeah,
of
you're
fucking
mostly on
comments, and I will read
Twitch
every
too.
single one,
You're
right?
mostly bound on Twitch too.
Yeah. Like if I started streaming to Kick and YouTube and fucking whatever else, like that is so much shit that I'd have to read. That's so many screens I'd have to pay attention
Oh
to,
yeah, that's right.
and I'm
Your
already like,
chat scrolls. I forgot about that.
yeah,
Yeah, and you're bound by that. That would be. Not to mention if one person was banned somewhere, the other person would. That sounds like a headache.
yeah, this sucks. I mean, if you don't see eye to eye with somebody, I mean, you could try and talk it out amicably, and if somehow you still can't see eye to eye about something, I mean, just fucking go somewhere else. The world's huge. There's a million things to do on the internet and a million people, right? Just fucking leave each other alone, right?
Yeah, Walter can read 14 different chats at once.
That would suck, man. I'd get no video games done.
It really would be. I mean, Walter over here does get a lot of traction on Twitch, about 30 or 40 people per stream, I'd say. 20, 40. Average wise, it's about 30.
Yeah, for sure. It fluctuates.
Does.
I lose people here and there, gain people here and there, right?
People become dicks. And yeah, but
Yeah, fuck. Don't get me started.
I won't. 28 of those people are illegal immigrants and will be deported. So, true and real. Yeah. Anyway, what has been your favorite experience on Twitch so far? As a broadcaster, has been your favorite experience?
Dude, honestly, the only fucking great thing about Twitch and streaming and putting up with all this shit is the fucking people that you meet. The community, right? The laughter, the friends, the camaraderie. That's the only thing that makes it worth it. Everything else fucking sucks. The games are usually shit. Your back ends up hurting. You're playing crap you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. If it wasn't for the awesome people, I would have gave up a long time ago.
Battle goal for Yui? His favorite
What?
experience has been playing Battle Golf for Yui.
Oh, Battle Golfer Yui. Jesus, that's a fucking turd. It's a Japanese Sega Mega Drive game. It's like half RPG, half fucking golf game. Which sounds cool, but they fucking gimped it. It's not a good game.
What's your favorite Mario Party game? Why not?
Mario Party. I never played too much Mario Party. Me and Melissa played through like 1, 2, 3 on the N64 back in the day when I was still collecting. That's about it.
What do you think about Cool Spot? Then I'll ask about Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. I fucking love Pepsi Man. Dude, the original Cool Spot was great. It's the only one I've played on Genesis. I love it.
Yeah, it was originally on Genesis, and it also has a Game Gear port. Did you hear about that?
Oh, really? I'm assuming it's probably the same game. It's just the screen's cropped.
Cropped, yep.
Worse.
And then it was ported over to the SNES.
Oh, okay.
There's an SNES version of it.
Somebody can redeem the Super Nintendo version if they wanted to.
There's ideas for him. Heck, you're gonna enter your stream with like a month's full of just redeems because of after all this. Like,
dude, I've got a list of over 50 games right now that I'm behind. It sucks. It's not good to be that backed up, man. You know? I need some fucking X-Lax or something. Over 50 games behind. It's a lot of shit weighing on your head, you know?
More fiber.
Yeah.
This is what Cool TI says. When someone streams on a platform, so Warp Radio is a friend of mine, and he's a good guy. I enjoy him. He's been kind of a radio station for like since the 80s in Chicago. Um, and he was the original FM casters back then. So when I tell him that he needs to make a forum that is exactly like Blackboard from the 80s and 90s, and then, everything like that, says the site doesn't get used much. But I personally would have enjoyed it in an 80s type of style. Anyway, this isn't about that, but I think retro is still in the heart of this topic.
Yeah, no, 80s was the best time for video games
and music. It was pop culture. I really wish I could have been a part of the 80s because I was born in 90, but
yeah,
I still listen to 80s music that is hardcore great. And I guess that's that's the type of music you enjoyed, 80s and 90s or 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely depends what you're in the mood for, but
yes,
a lot of the bands that I really, really, really look up to have started in the late 70s, early to mid 80s.
Oh man, 70s. Warp said 80s had a downfall too. I don't know about that. I haven't been around that era. So, I'm sorry I didn't mean to keep you so long, but if you have any more questions for me, hopefully I'll think of something better as we come along. This wasn't exactly my best interview of a person.
Don't worry about it, man. It was fine. Dude, I didn't know what the fuck to expect either, man. I've never given an interview or anything before.
Well, this is my second interview. I should have done a third one with somebody, but he said next is your hottest interviewee. That is true. You're a pretty hot guy. I enjoyed the duck and cover bomb drills. Oh man. Jeez. That was more like, jeez, man. I remember seeing that in like a history class and just like being all like, if it happens, it happens. I mean, come and go someday. So
yeah, you're gonna fucking blow up no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're under a desk. It's just added effort.
The 80s was great. We got plenty of AIDS propaganda every year. Which was false news, by the way. Fake you news, everyone. The greatest thing about the 80s was regarding the AIDS was some queen deciding to handshake someone with HIV, and I'm just like, mentally I'm thinking, heck, I could walk up to anyone and handshake them. I don't want to go into it, but I have HIV myself. I don't want to go into it, but like it just.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not bleeding in their fucking mouth, it doesn't matter.
No. I've been trying to keep myself. I don't do things. I don't do things anymore. That's why I become mostly asexual, mostly demi-bisexual, asexual type mentality. And anyway, that's what I just deal with on a daily basis. Like, if I could go into details about that, but I won't. There is that, but U equals Z. I don't know. I won't go into details about it. I just don't do it. I don't have sex with people. Anyway, I won't go into it, but I don't do it. It's not my thing. I didn't want anyone else to go through the shit that I went through. Let's put it that way. I couldn't do it. Never. So what didn't mean to go on the topic of myself. What was your favorite TV series growing up?
My favorite TV series? Like ever?
Well, you can name like a top 3 or 5.
I mean, classic Simpsons. It's definitely up there. It's programmed into my fucking brain, dude. Like, every day is just Simpsons quotes. Star Trek, obviously, all of it.
Deep Space Nine, or
I fucking love Deep Space Nine. Oh, I love all Star Trek.
did you enjoy Voyager? Because there's that clash
Voyager
between.
is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yes.
So that would be a yes on Voyager. And then what came after Voyager? Well,
Man, watching fucking Neelix and Tuvok hang out was great. You know, kind of like in Deep Space Nine. You got Quark and Odo.
oh
paired
yeah,
up together.
Quark and Odo.
I love how they always do that shit.
They always harass each other, and then at the end of the day, they become best buds. At the end of the day, anyway, it's
Yes.
like they harass each other. You have a dark Quark, and they just act like children. But at the end of the day, they just accept each other. It's like what Twitch should be in 2024. Just accept each other no matter what of the differences. If you can't accept differences, go part ways. Don't talk to each other. You don't need to ban people unless they were so severely toxic. But anyway, I don't agree with this whole ban people before you get banned thing and this whole thing ideology.
Yeah, censorship is bullshit.
I agree. Wow. I agree. Deep Space Nine, going back to the topic. Was probably my best, was probably my favorite series. And so the best part of that was, did you play any instruments growing up? Piano, anything?
Yeah, lots actually. I took band like every year and pretty much a new instrument every year.
Which instruments did you play? I know you
I
said
did
instrument.
trombone, I did clarinet, I did the xylophone. That was fucking awesome.
Well, it's similar
First
to the
song I learned on the
piano.
xylophone was the Jurassic Park theme song.
Yeah,
dude.
Did you try it on trumpet then? Like the year after?
Trombone. Fuck, I don't really remember too much about the trombone.
Trumpet.
Except I was calling myself
It was a
tromboner
trumpet.
all the time.
It was a trumpet.
Oh, you
And
did trumpet?
French horn. It was a trumpet and French horn mixture. Along with a little bit of a trombone, yeah. So you can call yourself a tromboner now.
Yeah.
Sixel, how's it going?
Fuck yeah.
Kolti Privyet. I just said hello and yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you switched instrument and he said Colt D said the skin flute.
Yeah. My dad taught me that one.
Skin flute, yeah. Was it similar to the skin? What would be an equivalent, or is that just a sarcasm?
Skin flute?
Yeah. I'm a little off right now. I'm sorry.
Penis, dude. It's penis.
Okay. My bad.
They're fucking with you.
Oh, I get it. His dad taught him how to play. These jokes. These are a little bit above my head. I am sorry, but I at least try to attempt to hear them out.
You're doing fine.
Well, I'm just glad that you're did you enjoy yourself this time? This is the first time that you've ever had a call on Discord.
Yeah, I guess so. It was fine.
Or just
Didn't really know what the hell to expect. So
I didn't.
yeah, I mean, I'm alive. I didn't die.
You didn't die. You didn't say fuck this. You didn't. I didn't say fuck this. Nobody said fuck this. Move on. And
Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected.
basically, that's what I expected too. But I knew that a certain otter was an asshole, so I didn't want to bring it up. But he's an asshole. I'm just leaving it at that.
Yeah.
Big Stinker says, I am the rust. Oh, excuse me. Colt DEI said he's also played the rusty trombone a time or two. The rusty trombone. I wonder what that means. Yeah.
You want me to explain it to you?
No, no. I'm a little bit too innocent minded. I actually never watched The Simpsons either. I was never allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So my brain is not exactly anyway, but you get the point. I never was actually able to watch The Simpsons growing up. But I was able to watch Star Trek. You know, sometimes I wish I could just go to Urban Dictionary and just look this shit up sometimes.
Yeah, people are constantly making up new shit. Have you heard of the Cosby sweater?
No, thank you. Has he ever seen Babylon 5?
No. Man, do I want to, though.
Says
I've never watched Stargate either. There's just not enough time in life, you know?
You were watching, what was it? Game of Thrones? Or something to that a month ago.
My girlfriend made me fucking sit down and watch Game of Thrones.
She made you, and how was your reaction to it?
Okay, well, me and her have been together almost 11 years, right? Before we started dating, I'd watched the first few episodes. I thought, fuck this. But we started dating, and she's like, I really want to fucking catch up on Game of Thrones. You gotta watch it with me. I watched Star Trek with you. So I started watching it, and yeah, I don't know. Every season was, like, better than the last, you know?
So you watched every single episode?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I meant to do this while you were I meant to do this while you were offline. Well, you know what I mean. But so that you had time to think about things, prepare in the future and stuff like that on a different type of platform ideology, but I didn't get this in time. So I could have a Babylon 5 playathon on Warp for him. You could, Warp. No, you're fine. I know that you have keyboard issues. He has keyboard issues sometimes. Jeff alone says Walt hasn't even watched all the Tremors movie.
Fuck. He made me watch the first 5.
Look, unless you're satisfied with a 50 caliber going through one thing and then another, then through another, to ricochet off another thing, to hit another thing, then go through the trimmer, we can't. No, I'm joking, but you get the idea. That was the best part of those movies. The very fucking end of it with those hit this, hit that, go through that, this, that, the other, ricochet off this thing to hit the final trimmer. That's just hilarious as fuck. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's
the first one was really good. Second was okay. Third, fourth, and fifth. Why do they exist?
Third one was
a sixth and a seventh, apparently.
But the first and second one are where the best memes are. I'm gonna be honest. Everything after 4 just didn't make any sense to me. It was like third got old because it was the same old thing, but if you can't get Bert, look, honestly, being Bert is just, you can't go, you can't. Tremors, I can't believe that it's been, when did you first see this again?
Well, I was doing movie redeems for like 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would watch and review a film every day for 2 years. I did nearly 700 fucking films, and Jaflone just kept picking fucking Tremors over and over and over. So I'd say maybe a year or two ago.
I'm glad it has been, but was that the first time you see it?
I saw Tremors when I was a kid. Didn't remember much. I thought it was okay. You know,
Uh,
going back to it as an adult, it was a good movie for sure. It made me excited for the sequels, and it's just nothing but disappointment. The further
After
I went,
three, it was shit. I'm being honest. The first three bring something new. Everything after is, yeah. I agree with Jeff Lone over here. I can agree with that. First three bring something new. Everything after is like fan fiction. It started getting too bizarre and may as well just be a sci-fi weird thing that never should have happened. Can't forget classic Doctor Who. Is what Warp
Doctor Who,
says. Walter calls his girlfriend Bert.
I do. I call her Bert.
Is that an abbreviation for something?
I just called her Bert one day, and I laughed really hard, and it just stuck.
Okay. Puff a joint, then watch Creature of the Pit. What era was that, Warp? I've never heard of Creature of the Pit. He is 80s Doctor Who. Okay, my bad. I know all of the Sega fan lore. Been his friend for 20 years. Lol. Said Colt DI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had a bar mitzvah together.
So you two know each other very well.
Oh yeah, inside and out.
As I said, I'm a little slow because anyway, but it takes me a while. But so okay, so you live we've been to a few spreader parties, you could say Colt DI. Slow and steady wins the race. Says Big Stinker. But I ask Walt what he was doing to Sarajevo on June 28, 1914.
I shot Franz Ferdinand. I admit it.
But you weren't alive back then. So did you go back to the future while going 88 miles an hour in the year 88?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had an almanac and everything.
Yeah, an almanac.
Made sure to hook up with my parents.
Make sure to do that. And kill Franz Ferdinand. This is obviously sarcasm. But
yeah. Joke.
I see. You impregnated your grandmother in 1914 also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's all in my book.
Yeah. So what was your opinion on Endgame?
Endgame?
Avengers Endgame.
Oh, all right. I'm not into superhero shit.
Fair enough.
It never really spoke to me for some reason.
Fair enough.
I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I decided to convince my girlfriend to fucking watch them all with me. And we watched every film from 1999 to 2015. And I just got absolutely sick of it. I just couldn't care less. I gave it a shot. I really did, but superheroes just don't speak to me.
Especially with Superman, because then they did this split multiverse thing and
I was just doing Marvel stuff. I didn't really dive into DC shit, but I do like the early Batman films.
Spider-Man is now both, apparently. I don't fucking understand it. It makes no sense to me, but it, for whatever reason, it now is in Avengers. Spider-Man is in Avengers, so I see how left wing this. Oh, by the way, it's no longer DC; it's now Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no thoughts or opinions, really.
Yes, Sony has the rights to Spider-Man. So we're up to you. And Cold DI also says all in his book Lord of the Flies. But communist revolution is this? No, anarchy is this. I'm sorry.
So, what are you wearing?
Touche. At least I'm wearing a shirt.
That you are.
A pack is Oh man. You definitely live in a very hilarious world, I will say that. Well, not hilarious as in you get the idea. But what I'm saying is that like a lot of people around you get your jokes and I have a hard time getting those jokes and I'm kind of jealous of those jokes sometimes. Yeah,
Nice to have
humor
a
is
community of people with a good sense of humor.
humor is the key to happiness is what Colt DI said.
Yeah, it really is. You got to learn to be able to laugh at anything, no matter how fucked up it is, no matter how atrocious it is. It's always the silver lining in a shitty world, right?
As much as I love to just like poke and say stuff, I don't because it could get me banned one day. But
Yeah, that would suck. I can't imagine what
no,
that's like.
I don't know what that's like at all. I'm not referencing you, by the way. Where's the male nudity? Said the cheese man himself.
I know. Joe, were you spreading fucking tar outside on the road earlier? Was that you?
I think
You're
that
like
was
fixing the
his.
potholes, and the whole town just smells like tar right now.
That was his boyfriend, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was his boyfriend from. Not today. I don't do paving.
Oh, okay, that wasn't you.
Lies. Yeah. No, not today. Joe is deadly hot. We all simp for Joe, is what Jeff Floyne says. I am butchering these names, and my apologies.
I love it, dude. You went from Jeff Alone to Jeff Loin. Great. I'm gonna fucking have to call him Jeff Loin from now on.
Well, at least you're not calling him. Well, I could come up with other names, but would you like me to continue? No, I was like a radio door or an 80-year-old gilf. Ultima Stallion. Well, when will you be next be streaming?
Tonight, in like 2 hours.
Okay.
I
And
literally just beat the final boss of my
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Dude, like 100-hour fucking game. I just beat the final boss, and you messaged me being like, "You ready?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Fuck.
I am." I paused it on
My
the end cutscene.
apologies. Did you end your stream because of me?
No, I wasn't streaming, dude.
Okay, good. I was about ready to say fuck my life. May as well jump off a bridge at that point.
Well, I usually stream twice a day, right?
Yes, you do. You
I
usually
just didn't do
stream
my
in the
early stream.
afternoon, and then you usually stream in the evening time around 10 p.m. East, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 ish Eastern.
You're 3 hours ahead, right? So you're like 7:32,
Yes,
7:33.
it is currently 7:32.
Yeah, so I'd start my first stream at like 2 p.m. your time. and then
Oh,
my
that
second
should not have
screen would
been
be like,
auto-modded. Why the fuck was that auto-modded? The fuck? Hold the phone.
what happened?
Uh, that should not have been auto-modded. I will send you what was auto-modded. Oh no, that's not what I want. No filtering on this. So Kick has this really weird ability to auto mod things that you don't want to be seen, and is very similar to Twitch. And that's what happened. And I'm sorry, you guys now should be able to put it in the comments now. Yeah, fuck. Honestly, I'd be willing to allow that on here because I don't usually talk. Cold Cold DA said my comment probably came off as telling you as you to an hero yourself, anti-hero yourself. Is basically what it was. Which isn't not wrong, probably. But I don't really care because it's not about me on this stream. It shouldn't be, at least. I'm just glad you're having fun.
We get naked or what?
No, I couldn't put you through the hell that I went through.
I'm drinking shampoo.
You're drinking shampoo. Oh, Colt DI says circumcised or not.
Good question.
We must know. That is the $1 million question. You got to pay him $1 million now. Some people already do know, though. Is the brand Dove? You think he's a soy boy like that? What? I know what his dick looks like. Oh, okay.
Sure.
You're asking if Walt got the clip. $1 million Canadian is what? 3.50 American? 1 million Canadian loons is like 35 cents freedom coins. Not wrong. 350 in this economy. It's not wrong. So
Just get a sudden urge to bite somebody's eyebrow off.
honestly, he has getting head from his girlfriend when we were teenagers. Beside me, a porch swing. I was pushing her head down on me.
It wasn't my girlfriend. It
That's his girlfriend.
was my sister.
And that's how Colt DI got pregnant for the first time. If she don't hawk tush, I don't talk tush. This chat. I see what you deal with on a daily basis. This is great, man. I honestly enjoy a lot of what you said to me and a lot of the questions that you've answered. Your chat's a riot, by the way. I just gotta be honest with you. Your whole vibe is awesome.
Dude,
And
it's seriously the only thing that keeps me fucking going on this shit.
very tame.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say anything too fucking nuts, because, I mean, this isn't my shit, this is your shit. Right?
Honestly, you're on Kick and it's an 18+ stream.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
It's Kick.
I don't want
care.
anything to reflect badly on you, right?
I don't give a shit.
You have your own people. And...
I usually use Twitch for you can go whatever. It's 18 plus anyway. They shouldn't have an issue with it. Go ham with it. Have fun. You honestly have a better personality than me in the first place anyway. I just want to put that out there that your sarcasm is a lot more humorous than mine. And I'm a little bit more serious. I try to be there for people when they can be, and obviously you are too. I try to help people out in a different way, and I understand that you do too. I think that your mannerisms are very good, though. Despite what other dickwad idiots think, you're pretty good. I still think that
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a reasonable person. If it's all shits and giggles when something bad happens, actually, and then you become serious, and that's something that this
Yes.
whatever the fuck is happening on Twitch is not it's just stupid. So I
Yeah,
am
exactly. You
play
get it.
yeah. And I've seen that about you. And quite frankly, that's why I hated what happened. Okay, he once convinced 216. Well, I can see why that was out. Yeah, I won't say that out. In the front yard. Can't even talk. The odd thing is that I have everything. Yeah, it's all right. Colt D. Colt D. How do you say his name?
What's going on?
How do you say Colt D? Colty?
Old B. Yeah.
Colty? Colt. Do you prefer to be called Colt? Because
I'm
I
Rebecca. I do.
Rebecca, gotcha. You call him Sugar Cheese. That's your girlfriend. I didn't think about that. Aardvarks. Some of these, anyway. I'm gonna. All right. So my last question is, what's for dinner tonight?
You? Dinner. I don't know, man. I gotta cook some shit.
You gotta cook
Melissa's
some
gonna be
shit.
off work in like 25 minutes.
Not ribeyes. Not
I actually don't like
steak.
steak.
What the fuck are?
I get that a lot, dude. I don't know. Never
Ugh.
been a fan of steak. Fuck. What am I gonna make? Might make some onion rings and some fish.
Just don't be alto saxophone player one, okay?
I'll do my best. No
A1
promises.
steak sauce.
Yeah, I love most kinds of meat, but I don't know, man. Steak. Everybody's always like, that's because you haven't had my steak, and then I have their fucking steak, and I'm like,
No thanks, it's too dry for me.
like it's fine, but I'm not like, yeah, steak, fuck yeah, man. You know?
How would you like that cooked? I don't know.
In an indie
His
bake oven.
dad's meat is his favorite. His Colt. Not everyone
Yeah,
likes
as long as they're
steak.
dead.
I just came across by the fact that he doesn't like steak. I thought he would have been a steak person, and he isn't. And I understand that he isn't. I do accept that now.
I feel accepted.
For once in your life, you were accepted for something that food related.
Are you my mommy?
Walt is a vegan? That's what Jeff Loin says.
Fine. Fuck. Yeah, I tried to be a vegan for like I didn't even last a week.
You didn't last
That was
a
when I
week.
was a teenager, though, just trying shit out.
You know, my brother doesn't eat any vegetables. or
Well, that's not
fruits.
good.
So he has grown up only living off of meat and starches. He will eat hamburger but no lettuce or tomatoes.
How's he feeling?
Honestly, he works two jobs. He's an EMT. He has done basic training. What else is there? He he's a weird individual. He doesn't eat rice actually. Jafloin, but he doesn't eat anything grain. But he only eats like bread because that gives him the. I don't know. I don't know if it's more of an autism thing for him.
How old is he?
Well, I'm the youngest in my family.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm the weird youngest person in the family that you will ever meet. So, even though I was spoiled as a kid, I actually cared about my brothers in a lot of different mannerisms. All my brothers were weird, like all of them. Like I won't go into details, but all of them were just weird. I was one of the semi-normal people in the family, and ended up weird this way, but whatever. Yeah, I that happened also between me and my brothers. I'm not even gonna lie about that, but yeah. 90s was a wild time. I'm not even gonna lie about that. 90s was wildest time to be alive. Yeah, I came out the only semi-normal person in my
Yeah,
family.
brothers can be a fucking handful.
Police academy. One brother ended up with anger issues and actually had like juvenile hall all the time. Another brother was, I don't know, he was just awkward. I don't know how to describe it to him. He was only about finances, but he can't make a joke. He was always serious all the time, and I don't know how to describe him. He was completely different more than me. Walter once melted my dad from blaring screeching weasel in the car. I
Yep.
can believe that. I
He
can
was
believe
fucking
that
pissed.
happened. It's just like one time where my dad forgot to leave the car in park, and it went down the hill and hit the whole neighborhood's mailbox.
Nice.
It's like great, thanks. But then my dad blamed it on my brother, and then because it was his brother's car, it's like what the fuck is this? This is like big country ass bullshit. Sometimes, like half the shit that I have to deal with. But I enjoy it. I embrace being country. So that's me. What about you? What type of atmosphere did you grow up in? Like country or main city?
I grew up in between two very small towns of like 2 or 3 thousand people. There's about an hour in between them two, and I grew up on a stretch of highway in between them. Um,
Hopefully the name
didn't have.
wasn't between, by the way.
Sorry.
So some places have this really weird. There's actually a town name called Between, and it's in between different towns. It
Oh.
literally is.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
how
no, I grew up.
country I am, basically.
Yeah, middle of nowhere for sure.
Between
We didn't
something.
get dial-up internet till like 2006,
Oh, geez.
so I'm like, yeah, definitely a generation behind growing up. It was fucking awesome, man. I feel like I actually got to experience a childhood, you know?
So I did not even get high-speed internet. I wasn't allowed to get high-speed internet until, or touch the internet until I was 16.
You had to jack off to like Sears magazines.
Mental images.
Yeah.
Like
When grandma bends over.
mental images. I don't really know how to describe it to you, but I did develop normally. I mean, 12 years old stuff. Parents were appalled by it, but whatever.
Are they like super religious or what?
You know, I grew up, I couldn't find a porno magazine in the field when I was a kid, is what
Fuck yeah, dude.
Colt
You
said. He
come across
probably
shit like that
did.
all the time.
I believe that. I believe that full of. So no, my parents were religious, and they stopped being so over time, and were very religious. Actually, I was raised like southeastern. So a lot of these people were, well, my family in particular was about like Sunday school and everything else like that. And so I never really had a normal lifestyle, so to speak. So it takes me, I don't know, I'm a little bit different of a breed person,
Hmm.
if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
And then my brothers did probably worse than I did around my parents. I was one of the nicer people around my parents. If he's still streaming when Mel gets home, you're going to see shit hit the fan. Say Colt. Actually, my friend's mom would clean office and bring home porno magazines for his dad. We would take them and sell pages in $1 middle school. About turned into a wrestling match. She's gonna burst out of her clothes and beat him to a pulp.
Yeah, if I'm lucky.
Whatever floats your boat, man. So I was viewing your stream yesterday, and this is gonna sound like I'm stoned out of my mind a bit, but do you know that thing like that aura that just like hit your face like yesterday?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The sunlight.
It was like, oh my gosh, like you get the idea. Like it was just hitting you in the head, like in the eyeglasses. Like it looked like you were actually having glasses, and then the glasses were shining out, or your eyes were shining out that aura.
Yeah, yeah.
It was so freaking cool. I don't know how to name it, but it was like the day that you get unbanned, which I think it was 2 days ago or something like that. And then all of a sudden that eye look, oh man, that just like
That's awesome.
it was
Glad you like
great. It was great. Anyway,
it's literally just me getting blinded by the sun, but yeah. Yeah.
but like it looks so good on stream. I mean, I get it. I get you had a hard time playing the game though. So, have you considered an RPG in the future?
What do you mean? Like playing one or making one or
Playing one
like on stream or off stream?
on stream.
Well, I mean on stream, I have to play what people pick for me, right? And I guarantee you there's some RPGs in that list if I were to look at it.
What's the name of that? Forgot the name of it. Hold on. There's a Sega game that was out there a while ago. Dragon Quest.
Sega game?
No, in Dragon Quest not. So it was
Phantasy Star? Shining Force?
Yes, Shining Force.
Yeah, I did Shining Force 2 several months ago.
I don't remember.
Elagos actually redeemed it for me.
May have been when I was absent. I had to take a small. Illigro. Yeah, that makes sense, Ben. But I didn't see that. I wasn't able to.
But
Mm, mm. I'm reading the chat a bit. So it seems like there's some more blocking going on. Hmm.
blocking messages?
Yeah, I don't understand it very much. It's Twitch, it's Kick. It shouldn't be doing this. Anyway, I'm sorry to. I'm. How do I phrase this? I'm a little drunk too. I've been drinking a bit.
Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew, hard Mountain Dew.
Oh, really? That's a thing? The fuck?
I'm about ready to fall asleep, to be honest. It's not you. It's I've never tried it before, and I probably should have. It's Mountain Dew
Is it good?
Moonshine. It's good. Yeah, Graptacular. There are a lot of good people here on Kick. I gotta say, like every single person that I have seen on Kick, they have been nice. They have been kind. So it's more like a caffeine hit along with an alcohol hit, and it does weird things to my mind when that happens. I will say it has zero sugar, and I'm at first I'm like, no, no way, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why would it be zero sugar? But then it figures out that
Aspartame?
yeah, fuck that, no caffeine. So it tastes like shit. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't taste good. I thought it would be okay, but it doesn't taste good. It's aspartame. It's not even electo. It's just it doesn't taste good. Zero sugar, alcohol, no caffeine, which I think it's illegal to have caffeine and alcohol in the system in the same thing. I guess you can mix them together, but I don't care. But it tastes
Those are
like
the
shit.
worst hangovers I'd ever had in my life.
Why is that?
Jaeger bombs? Fuck, man. Even when I was like 20, I'd wake up the next day and my legs would just be like fucking shaking. I'm like, this is fucking, that just sucks. I hate this. Then the next night you do it again.
So for me, a good time is not an IPA beer. I don't like IPA.
IPA?
India Pale Ale.
Yeah, I've gone to a couple beer festivals. I don't even know why. I'm not a big fan. Mostly for the music.
Four Loco. That was kind of the whole point of Four Loco. Honestly, I do you drink alcohol at all? I think you do
Me?
sometimes. Yeah. I never
Um,
seen you drink alcohol. Nobody's seen me drink alcohol though. But
I used to drink way too much from like 14 to 22. And then after that, pretty much only when I go to concerts and shit like that. So in the past 10 years, I've probably got drunk like 15 times.
I will say that this hard Mountain Dew does not hit right. It's like
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
I didn't think about it. I thought Mountain Dew, alcohol, what could go wrong? And then
Yeah.
bad tasting beer, flavored beverage. My foot tastes like piss and beverage. Anyway, not my cup of tea. But yeah, I agree with you, Graptacular. Um, Sometimes I do some weird things. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy over this. Oh, Jack and Coke. Yeah, or Jack and Coke is so good. Like that's like if you can get that, yeah, Jack and Coke. Like
Rum and Coke shit. Yeah.
yeah, that type of setup. Or like yeah, I mean it has to be Jack and Coke if it's a mixed beverage. But anyway, so you used to do between teens and 21, and then you stopped.
Yeah. I got all my partying out really fucking early. It's a good time to get all that shit out of your system, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong. My frat years weren't exactly the great best either, but okay. Jack and Coke, I still go back to that and still think that that's the best idea, even to this day.
Yeah, every time I'm gonna go to a concert, I make sure I get a bottle of rum and some Coke.
Some people, as Graptacular says, it's good you were able to get out of that. Some people never grow up from that. Sorry.
Yeah. I've lost a lot of friends to alcohol and drugs, especially. Holy fuck.
Do you know about my ex?
I know everything about your ex.
I vented about it one day on your server. That's why I'm asking.
A vague recollection, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Alcohol's fine. Weed's okay if it helps you, but if it goes any further than that, get the fuck out of my house. It's basically what I will be for the next 20 fucking years. I'm not joking. But
Mushrooms
anyway.
are a good time.
Okay, I'll accept that because there are some beneficials for mushrooms, but
There are.
maybe
Fucking love
acid too.
mushrooms.
But
I never did acid. I had many opportunities, but I never did it.
hmm. Anyway, Graptacular makes a valid point. I know still people to this day who are like in their 40s who just, it's like, doesn't make any sense.
They don't want the party to end. Yeah.
They don't. And it's like
I
you're
get it,
40.
but it's not good.
It's not. It's not. So anyway, I'm going to call it here, but do you have any more questions for me? I have ran out of questions for you. I just thought this would be a good sit down and talk type moments. I guess my last question as you're a Canadian, did you what were your opinions on the election? Because that's my last question.
Honestly, I stay clear of all of it. I don't really care. I don't really get into it too much.
I know.
Whenever there's like a new election coming up, I'm like, all right, babe, who should I fucking vote for? And she just tells me, and I fucking do it. I don't. All I know is that Trudeau's awful, and I'm not gonna vote for him no matter what. And besides that, I don't really care because not much is gonna change
Oh
anyway,
no, I
right?
meant about Trump and Harris.
Oh yeah, I don't. Dude, watching people's reactions, it's
Because you're
pathetic.
Canadian, nobody hears anyone else's opinions on these matters, but you
It
get my
feels like
point.
watching a fucking sports match, man. You have a bunch of fucking people going ape shit in complete despair, as if their lives are over, like the sky's falling, and it's really pathetic. And then you have the other people just going fucking ape shit. They're ecstatic and rambunctious and equally as ridiculous about it, just from the opposite spectrum. I don't know, man. I don't really understand it. All right, I don't get it,
So
man. People are fucking terrified, and it doesn't make any sense.
I
And people are
voted.
like overly ecstatic, and it doesn't make any sense as well. Like
I
they're just too
voted.
enveloped in something.
I voted based upon my own experiences about what have happened over the past 4 years, along with what I believe to be the right thing, along with all the wars that were going on. I was trying my best to compile them all into my own thoughts. I wasn't going to side either way until I didn't even know honestly who the person was until less than 4 months ago, just to be clear for you.
Mm.
Because Kamala Harris entered in at the last minute,
Yeah, I
nearly the
honestly I
last
don't know
minute.
anything about Kamala Harris.
I didn't know anything. So every time I tried to listen to her, even give an opinion, it was either hidden behind a paywall where you have to pay to view her opinion. It was stated on a very plasterized version of a website, which doesn't help me because she just paid for it and someone else plastered it on there. I'm just giving my opinion,
Yeah.
and I couldn't really get to know her. She didn't give any experiences to me as to why I would vote for her,
Well, that's
and
the thing about being
that's
in the public eye anyway. The only thing that you are going to see is what they want you to see anyway. So is there really like, can you be objective about it? Is there any actual like, can you intimately understand who they are as a human being as opposed to what they're fucking force feeding you through the media? You can't. So how can you actually make a decision based around that?
I will say that there was less editing on one part than more on the other, which gave it a more
Perhaps.
surreal opportunity.
You might be right. I mean, with Trump, I guess you know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah, I mean, true, but I didn't get any of her opinions. I didn't see any of her opinions. It was hidden behind a paywall. I don't know anything about it. I'm just being honest, but I'm just asking your opinion. Like, I knew what you saw was one side saying it was basically like a sports event, and I understand where you're getting with that. I fully do. I could have seen that. Um, I mean, if I view like a hockey event in Canada, it would have been, why are you guys arguing over a hockey puck? And but that's I understand.
Yeah, I don't judge anybody based on who they vote for or anything like that.
Okay.
It's when they start being a complete asshole about it where I start to form an opinion on that person specifically, not based on their whether they're left or right or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, usually in the past I was third party anyway, but this election I decided against that. But I'm glad that you gave a formal opinion on what you think. I'm not going to judge you harshly either way.
All right. So we're wrapping up then, or what?
Yeah, we're wrapping up. It's been 2 hours, and I'm sorry
Yeah,
that
it
I've
has been
been
two
such
hours.
a. I forgot to
That went by
fucking
quick,
record
eh?
this. I forgot to fucking record this. Shit, I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I hope that you have a good rest of the night. All right. I'll be stay tuned in your stream. You'll be live on Twitch in about an hour or two, 2 hours, right?
Yeah,
Three,
ish,
2 or 3,
somewhere around there.
2 to 3 hours. I'll be around there. And I'm sorry, it didn't even hit very well, but whatever. We doing this 2 times a day, right? This is graptacular.
Yeah.
No, we could. I mean, I don't know. No, no. It's his first time doing it, and I wasn't very prepared for it either, but I was at least hoping to be low down to earth for him about this.
Man, you did good.
You have a good rest of the night, guys. I will stop streaming now.
All right, man. Have a good night.